Mortgage brokers and financial advisors are often telling me that the thing they really want to do is to get more leads from Google. But how do you do that? And what does from Google actually mean? Well, if those are the kind of questions that you've been wondering about, then you definitely need to stay tuned and watch the rest of this video, because I'm about to show you 3 different methods that you can use to get more leads from Google. Okay, so to illustrate the different ways that you can get leads from Google, I've gone on to Google here and I've done a search for mortgages for first-time buyers. And whenever you do a search, you'll typically find that the first 3 or 4 results that come up have this little ad symbol next to them. And that means that those are adverts that are put there by the Google Ads system. That's the system that until a few years ago used to be called Google AdWords, so you may have heard it referred to as that. So the Google Ads results, they appear maximum 4 of them at the top here, and you also very often get down the bottom of the page on a desktop, you'll get up to another 3 of them appearing down the bottom there. So those Google Ads results are also known as the PPC results, the pay per click results, and that's because the websites that appear there, the advertisers who've said they want to appear there, aren't paying for their ads to actually be shown. They're only paying if someone does a search and then clicks on their ad and goes through to their website, hence pay per click. And in simple terms, what's happened here is these advertisers have said to Google, if someone types in mortgages for first-time buyers, and they'll have chosen other keywords as well, but they'll said if someone types in mortgages for first-time buyers or one of my other keywords, I want my advert to appear in this paid results section here. And they will have said how much they're willing to pay for each click on their ad, and every time there is a search run on Google, Google carries out an auction process, in a very complicated process, but it does it in a split second to determine which ads to show and in which order. And if you want to know more about the ins and outs of how that actually works, I'll put a link in the description of this video to an article that goes into that in more detail, but that's the basic gist of it and is all you need really to understand for the purposes of what we're looking at now. So there are some pros and cons to trying to get leads from the Google Ads part of Google. The big advantage to it is that it's very quick. If you start advertising on Google Ads, you will typically have your advert appearing in this section here within a few hours of going live. It's also very flexible. You can go after lots of different keywords. You can control exactly which landing pages people go to on your website when they click on the ad. You get to write your own ad content. So you've got a lot of flexibility and control around that. And because of all that, it tends to give quick results. The only downside to it really is that you are paying for each click. However, if you get it set up correctly, then the amount you pay in click charges is going to be far less than the amount of money you make from generating those leads, turning those leads into clients and selling them, in this case, mortgages. So that's your Google Ads paid results. Then if we go a bit further down the page, starting from here, we'll see the results that don't have ad written next to them, and those are the organic search results, or sometimes called the natural search results. Now these are the search results which get there as a result of people doing SEO, search engine optimization. So all the results here are the ones where Google has decided, based on its very complicated and ever-changing algorithm, Google has decided that these are the websites which have the most relevance and the most authority and the most credibility in relation to someone who is searching for, in this case, mortgages for first-time buyers. So when it comes to the organic results, if you want your website to feature here for any given keyword, any given search, you need to do 2 things. Firstly, you need to make sure that your website is seen as being highly relevant for that particular keyword, so it needs to have plenty of content about, in this case, mortgages for first-time buyers. And you also need to make sure that Google sees your website as one that has credibility and authority. And that's where a process called link building comes in, because one of the big ways that Google judges whether your site is worthy of being in these results is not just is it relevant, but do lots of other websites think it's a good site. And the way Google judges whether other websites think your site is good is by looking at how many other websites link to your website. Because each inbound link to your site is, if you like, a vote of confidence in the content that you're providing. So again, I've got articles that go into this in far more detail, which I'll include links to in the description below. But in simple terms, if you want to appear in these organic results, you need to have a website which has lots of useful, relevant content that's updated regularly, and you need to go through a process of getting other websites to add links from their sites to your site in order to give you that credibility in Google's eyes. So the downside of the organic results, you've got to do this SEO to get there, and that is a long process. It can take 3 to 6 months to see any kind of results from SEO, and so it's not a way of getting quick results. However, the upside of it is that when someone clicks on one of your organic results, that's not costing you per click. You know, it's cost you up front in terms of the time and effort involved in creating content, gathering links, etc., but it's not costing you every single time someone clicks on your ad. So that's the sponsored paid results and the organic results. The third aspect of Google, which isn't shown in this particular results page, but I've got another one I'll show you in a moment to illustrate it, is the Google local business results. So we didn't get those on this particular search because my search that I did wasn't a localized search. I wasn't looking for a service in my local area. But on this one here, you can see I've searched for mortgage broker in Nottingham. Just picked a random place and searched for mortgage broker there. And you can see with this one, I still get the Google Ads results appearing at the top. And I've still got my organic results down here. But in between those two sections, I've got this local businesses results here. Also something that's called the map pack results, because as you can see, it's showing me results of local businesses, but also showing where they appear on a Google map. And you'll get these kind of local results for anything where you're doing a search for a product or service within your local area. It might be that you do something like I've done there, search for something in a particular town or city. The other way that you'll often get these is if you were to search for mortgage broker on its own, or if you search mortgage broker near me, then there'd be a good chance that Google would include local business results in the search results for that kind of search as well. Now the way that people get here is, again, there's a degree of relevance, the same as search engine optimization for the organic results. So you've actually got to be a mortgage broker in Nottingham, in this case, to have any chance of appearing in these results. And Google will look at things like, you know, where your address actually is in relation to the search term. It will also look at your local business profile that you can set up on Google, and you have to have a local business profile to have any chance of appearing here. And it will look at how well populated your local business profile is, how often you update it, things like how many reviews you've got, all those kinds of things in determining which free businesses to list in these results here. One really important tip which will improve your chances of appearing here is to make sure that everywhere that your business name and address appears, whether that's on your own website or elsewhere like directory listing sites or whatever, that you always use exactly the same format for your address. So, you know, if you're at number 1 High Street, make sure you always write that as High Street, STREET. Don't abbreviate street to ST. And if you are writing your address without the county name in it, then again be consistent with that. So don't have some places where your address appears where you've got Nottinghamshire as the final line of the address, and other places where you don't have that, because again that lack of consistency will go against you when it comes to Google deciding which websites to show and which businesses to show in these results here. So as you can see from that, there's a little bit more to it than just saying I want to get leads from Google. You first of all need to decide which bit of Google you want to get leads from, and in an ideal world I would say focus on all three, because then, you know, if you get all three of them working well, then you're going to appear 3 times on page 1 of Google rather than just once. Decide which aspect of Google or which aspects of Google you want to pursue, and then depending on which aspects it is of Google that you want to pursue, either start doing some SEO, work on getting your local business profile up to date and regularly updated with new content and reviews, etc., or look at setting up a Google Ads campaign. And as I said, if you want more details on how to do SEO, how to do Google Ads, I'll put some links in the description to this video below. So I hope that's been useful in demystifying things a bit. As ever, if you've got any feedback, any comments, any questions, leave them down below. If you found this video useful, please do give it a like with the thumbs up button, and consider subscribing to the channel so as you're the first to know when I put out more content like this, all of which is aimed at helping you improve your marketing and your online lead generation. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon.